Hi there! This week we're covering Macionis Chapter 11, Work and the Workplace. First and foremost this week, we want to keep in mind the concept of stratification in the workplace, that there are lots of types of jobs, and each job can be associated with a particular socioeconomic status, a particular social status, if you want to be more specific. From the professor who teaches your course to the teachers you had growing up, from the cashier who checks your groceries to the mostly men who collect the garbage from those groceries, to the lawyer who might represent you in a crime or a divorce or in the reading of a will, to the doctor who sets your broken arm from a snowboarding accident. Every single one of these folks, and you yourselves as students, and probably workers in the workforce in some capacity, has a particular social status. That's stratification, and that social status comes from the income each person makes, the number of years of schooling and the cost it took to obtain that job, and most importantly of all, what society thinks of each job. Here's a good example of that last point. Teachers compared to lawyers. Most teachers these days will go on to get a master's degree or at least an extra year of school to complete their teaching certificate. On average, each teacher over the course of his or her career has an average of about 2 to 3 years additional of postgraduate education. Most attorneys complete law school in about 3 years. Teachers have to have a teaching license, one or more, in order to teach in public school and in most private schools. Lawyers have to pass the bar exam in their state to practice law there. The average starting teacher salary nationwide is about $36,000 per year. The average starting attorney salary nationwide is about $54,000 per year. The average maximum attorney salary nationwide is around $190,000 per year. That's an average. The average maximum teacher salary nationwide is around $74,000. Both professions require similar training, but there are major differences in pay, and for that matter, different perceptions of how much respect each profession brings with it, despite all the lawyer jokes that are out there. So what do you think of this? Give it some thought. Think about the history of each of these professions. Consider that teaching has long been considered a female profession, while the practice of law has historically been held by men. So just some stats and some food for thought for you there. Okay, there are lots of other topics to explore in Chapter 11. Stratification is the biggie, but consider some other topics and their pros and cons while reading the chapter. Consider telecommuting. Consider workplace isolation, that is, the feeling of being disconnected from your fellow employees, either by distance or simply by social isolation in the workplace. Consider the Industrial Revolution and how it changed the workplace. Specialization, the division of labor, and the demise of so-called mom-and-pop industries. Think about the effect technology has had on the workplace. For example, how we do most of our own tasks ourselves now that many people had assistants or secretaries for in past decades. And lastly, think about the shift in our economy from manufacturing jobs to service industry jobs, the changes in pay that accompanied these changes, the changes in job status and labor unions, and the changes in the numbers of jobs available. So lots to consider in Chapter 11. It's a good read. Give it its due attention and think about some of these issues, and then I'll see you online for our weekly discussion.